Yeah. La 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 la. Joker genius. I know the reason they count me out, cause it's so convenient. But I don't mind that, never mind that. I'll remind you, time is deceiving. Still, time and time, I put the time in. Stars in line, perfect time to turn back the clocks and rewind, no decline. None of it's really by design, it's how you perceive it. I'm overachieving, back to defeating all of these demons. All of these secrets that I can't share for all.
I'm hoping to learn a lot. I will tell you the purpose of me being here is I go to these rallies anyways because one, I want to support Donald J. Trump for president, but more importantly, I also want to sit here and support the messaging. And right now we have Laken Riley, which is a case that we've covered and we're covering, and I'm going to be covering more in depth and more intimately on Sunday. And I'm here for her. And I don't want to hear any more Laken Riley. So for this particular trip, this one here is going to be for Laken. I want to be here any opportunity that I have to speak to media, to speak to anybody. We're going to make sure that Laken Riley's name is front and center, at least for me. Just to stop. Stop with the political grandstanding that's costing us our lives. Just stop. Rehabilitation centers set up around this country, and let's clean our kids up. That's what I say. President of our United States of America that currently sits and holds office now goes down there. Thank you. Thank you, President Biden. Slow walking everything, aren't you? Even your trip to Eagle Pass. It's cleaned up. You know why it's cleaned up? Because the federal government's out of there. That's why it's cleaned up. You look at the hot mess it is in Arizona and California right now. Why? Because they've got governors that don't give a shit. Close the borders. Stop all this nonsense. You know, let's get some real drug rehabilitation centers set up around this country and let's clean our kids up. That's what I say. I don't care. Why are you watching? You sound like an oxymoron. This is definitely not the show for you because we have kind of these things called brain cells upstairs. You know, we're seeing a lot of this pedophilia type of actions from people in our society. I don't know what has caused this to explode the way it has, but it has. And we have to take precautions. So we, as the public, when we see a young person having an interaction with somebody that looks a little odd, don't just keep your mouth shut. Maybe you should say, hey, is everything okay for you, right? Don't be rude, but maybe just check on their ability, their health and well-being. That's one thing we can do in the public. Another thing we can do in our home is if we do have these blended families, and even though we love our significant other, let's put our opinion aside and let's make sure that our children have an open door policy, that if something is going on, that you believe that your child, you believe anything that they say, and that if anything's going on in their life, no matter how big or small it is, to come see you and talk to you about it, and always be beyond reproach, especially in those ages of the kids, 11, 12, 13, impressionable, grooming age. We need to start taking some additional precautions and making sure our children know and are comfortable speaking to us about these uncomfortable topics. But I definitely think that you need to trust your gut. And if you feel something ain't right, never shame them when they're talking about uncomfortable stuff. Even if they are liars and even if they've lied in the past, you need to take something, because just because they lied in the past doesn't mean they're lying about this. And don't just automatically assume because they've lied in the past that they're lying about this. Always look into the allegations. Always don't do the investigation yourself. Always reach out to law enforcement. Find out for sure. Is it going on? Is it not going on? Just don't blow up your whole life. But if you hear allegations, somebody needs to investigate those allegations. And you, in my opinion, are not an investigative body. You don't know what you're doing. And I just keep wondering, you never want to blame the mom, because the mom, from what law enforcement said, really just didn't know. She had no clue. But her daughter wanted to run away. I guess it's kind of hard because I feel bad for the mom, and I don't want to victim shame or have any type of victim shaming at all in a situation like this, especially in light that she had no clue about what was going on right under her nose. And we hear about that happening all the time. This is kind of how it's done. This is the gift the predator has about keeping that child in control, keeping control of that child to make sure that they're not leaking information. So I can kind of understand that, but it's just really sad because I just wish Maddie would have just told her mom what was going on.
I am reporting on the case of missing 13-year-old Madalina Soto. Madalina Soto vanished. This is where authorities were searching forensics. His condo here, Kissimmee, Florida. A lot of unknowns in this case right now regarding Stearns and the mother of Madalina Jen Soto. The mother spoke out to the media and actually said that her and Stearns dropped Madalina off by her school, Hunters Creek School, middle school, Monday morning. And then she said she went back at the end of the day to pick her up, and she didn't go to school. So where is she? Now Stefan, who lives in this condo here, is arrested. Unrelated charges, but it is kind of related because they searched his phone, and inside his phone they found incriminating evidence and evidence of doing horrific things to children or a child. Unclear right now specifically what exactly they found on his phone, but I want to share the area because he lives across the street from a fenced-in area here. So I'm going to share the area and show you what is going on in this specific location. All right, so that is the neighborhood here. Woods. Authorities were searching this area here.
Bring her home if you find her. Tell her that we love her.
When investigators interviewed Stearns, they asked to look at his phone, but he stated he accidentally performed a factory reset on the phone the day Madalina disappeared. Law enforcement was able to recover several photos and videos showing Stephen sexually battering a child.
There is the perp, Stefan Michael Stearns. My goodness, I hope he never gets out. You know, what kind of sentence is he going to face? Well, if he faces murder charges later...
Stefan, where's Maddie? Did you hurt her? Are you a pedophile?
Stearns, 37 years old. Who is this guy? Well, according to LinkedIn, his public, which is public, you know, where you do your jobs and you know, place your credentials and, you know, what you do for a living. Because authorities conducted search warrants and found some very disturbing things on his phone. Things against, you know what I'm talking about. So that's what he's in custody for.